Welcome to The Weekend View. We'll be working with the Moonology Manifestation Oracle. So let's get into it. Let's start off with what we can expect and or what's going to be our focus this weekend. Here we've got attuned to the divine. So this isn't so much what to expect, so much as it is what you need to make a priority this weekend. And the priority here is for you to focus on your spiritual connection. A check-in of sorts with yourself and the divine. I know we can all lead some pretty busy lives, but this is a clear sign that you need to take some dedicated time out just to be with yourself. Personally, it can be challenging to find alone time, so I capitalize on the one thing I get to do alone, and that's shower. So whenever I know I'm in need of attunement, I make it a point to take an intentionally cleansing shower or bath, where I actively imagine that the water is washing away all that does not serve me. While I'm in there, I practice different forms of deep breathing and intentionally clear my mind so that I'm actually able to hear my higher self. But yes, this weekend, make it a point to find some alone time and use it to lean into whatever practice allows you to connect to your higher self. It doesn't have to be a tremendous amount of time. It can be a quick breathwork session or a guided meditation or even dancing. It really doesn't matter what it is as long as you connect inward. Now, let's talk about what it is we need to begin embracing this weekend. And we have cool your emotions. Well, all right then. Something's been a brewing that's bringing up some intense emotions between you and a loved one. You may end up really upset over something this weekend. Not like end of the world devastation type upset, but more like the emotions may be really high because of how much love you have for this person. I'm hearing, I wouldn't be this upset if this were someone else. So this person that you currently have or may end up having some tension with means a lot to you. And your emotions could end up having you act out of character. Spirit wants you to be aware of your anger this weekend and how you can transmute it into healthy communication. This doesn't mean pretend that you're not upset if those feelings come up for you this weekend, but for you to stay aware of your heated emotions, feel through them, communicate with love, and embrace making peace with them. Next, let's get into what you need to be bringing into the weekend. We have release control. There's a need to bring, for the lack of a better word, a looseness into this weekend. It's a go with the flow kind of energy. And I think this speaks back to both of the previous cards, actually. So where you typically wouldn't take the time for yourself because maybe you feel like specific things have to happen at a certain time. But what would happen if you actually release control and easily allow time for yourself? Or even when we just talked about cooling your emotions, if we can release control by way of releasing our expectations of what others should say and or do or don't do, like how could that benefit us? Often whenever we get really upset, it's because of a preconceived expectation that whenever we decide how something should go in advance, it's actually a form of control. So if you can bring less control into this weekend, you might easily find a time for yourself. And that potential argument or miscommunication that could happen might not feel so bad. And the last thing I want to touch on before you get your weekend started is what you need to leave behind. And the card that came out is attend to the details. Yes, leave them details behind. This is not a weekend for the nitty gritty. This is a weekend to feel into yourself, to learn more about how you're feeling and why you feel that way. This is not an extensive to-do list kind of weekend. Do not get hung up on the details of everything. Nitpicking could be the very thing that could send your emotions spiraling and keep you from truly connecting with yourself. Let this weekend be one of grace and treating yourself with the tender love and care that you're usually too busy to grant yourself. Long story short, This weekend, be sure to make time for yourself. Be aware of how you feel. Process those feelings with a clear mind and leave the rest behind. Thank you for joining us for the Weekend View. My name is Meheba, your intuitive guide, and as always, may the looking glass allow all of us to see. Peace.